Slate 4, the Diamondbacks shocked fans by beating the Padres not once, but twice at Mini Fenway. Meeting for the first time this season at Orange Park today, the Padres will get their chance at redemption in a win-or-go-home best-of-3 series. Welcome back to Orange Park. I'm Brendan Ouellette here for the National League Divisional Series played between the 7-8 Diamondbacks and the 6-9 Padres. There's no need to remind everyone that there's an extensive history in this matchup, but it feels like this is the closest the two teams have ever been in the past 4 seasons. Taking a look at the tail of the tape, Padres finishing just 1 game behind the Diamondbacks, but the stats are a lot closer than some may think. Sort of identical seasons for both of these teams. It feels like they've been on a collision course since opening day. Some aspects that may be difference makers in today's series, here are the strengths and weaknesses. First, the Padres, their biggest strength is intensity. They play such a relentless style of wiffle ball, and they really do a good job of tiring teams out late in series. Probably the most important asset to have entering into the postseason, their ability to never be out of games is remarkable. Second strength, their hitting depth. High averages across the board, these guys see pitches really well and they do a great job building off each other's success at the plate. Especially in the 3rd game of the Mini Fenway series, it seemed like every at-bat the Padres were putting a guy on base. And lastly, their fielding is going to be a big X factor here today. They've got a Gold Glove front runner on the roster, and all 3 guys really do a good job of collecting balls and making plays. They don't make a lot of mistakes in the field, but when they do, there's backup there to limit the damage, something that can go a long way during a postseason run. As for their weakness, a pretty big one, the home run ball. 7 of their 9 losses this season were at the hands of a single home run. I mean, we're talking about an entirely different team if they limit the amount of home runs against. Runs in the postseason are coming at a premium, but if you're handing them out on a silver platter to your opponent, you just aren't going to be able to progress through this bracket. Now for the Diamondbacks, let's talk strengths. Their biggest strength is situational batting, and it's something that was really on display at Mini Fenway. They can get guys on base, they can get balls in areas that are difficult for defenders to field, and they play to their strengths at the plate. Secondly, it's the clutch factor, and that starts with captain Michael Lynch. The career leader in walk-offs, Lynch can single-handedly propel his team to victory, and he can do it in the blink of an eye. That's something to keep an eye on today, as walk-offs in the postseason are pretty obviously impactful. And lastly, their pitching is a strength when it's on. Michael Lynch has really developed a nice arsenal of pitches over the course of the season, and when he gets his breaking ball working, it's nearly impossible to hit. As we saw in the 2022 NLCS, their depth is also pretty strong, with Bryce Bedard ready and waiting to enter a game if need be. In terms of weakness, consistency is an issue for the Diamondbacks. Lucky for them, the highs this season have been very high, and that's helped them to 7 wins. But it seems like they struggle to piece together back-to-back strong performances. Even within a game, back-to-back solid frames is rare for this team. We saw this weakness exposed specifically against the Athletics in one of the most inconsistent performances we've seen from this group. They lost 3 games that they probably should have easily won. Today's starting lineups, first for the Padres, it's the 3 guys that they've rolled with all year: Brendan Ouellette, Nick Ferrulo, and Cam Brown. After the Slate 5 sweep, they'll return back to the 3-man lineup and utilize their 3 best hitters at the plate. On the home side, Diamondbacks also rolling with their go-to lineup: Michael Lynch, Joe Cranefus, and Bryce Bedard all getting the start here today. And today's starting pitchers, a matchup as old as time now. Nick Ferrulo will toe the rubber for the Padres. He's itching to get back in the win column, his last of which came against this very team at Mini Fenway. As for the Diamondbacks, Michael Lynch is the starter. He looked solid against the Mets in Slate 5, slowed down in Game 3, but overall another steady showing from him on the mound. He'll look to ride that momentum into the postseason. The NLDS is just moments away. Let's go chat with the players before first pitch.
All right, I'm here with Diamondbacks captain Michael Lynch. Michael, you're back in the playoffs facing a team that many expected you two to go at it. A historic rivalry. What's the mindset between you 2 teams?
Yeah, like you said, it is a historic rivalry for sure. Think about our past battles definitely helps. Our most recent one we came out on top, but we got to remember the ones where we didn't, like last year in the playoffs, got swept. So just kind of remember all that stuff, learn from what we've done this season, learn from our series against them, and just kind of come in ready to fight. I believe it's a clean slate in the playoffs. It doesn't really matter that we're the 1 seed. It's an advantage in some sense, but at the end of the day, we just got to go out there and win. So that's our goal.
And like you said, you are the 1 seed in this matchup, the home team. How do you think that's going to affect the game?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps, especially games 1 and 3 being the home team. Try to take advantage of that, having last ABs, kind of just setting the tone early when we can on the mound. Just kind of playing with confidence. That's our biggest thing in general. It doesn't really matter for the home or away team, so that's the goal.
Awesome, Michael. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, here with Padres captain Brendan Ouellette. Brendan, you're back in the playoffs facing a familiar foe. What's the mindset going, considering you just played the Mini Fenway and you have such a historic rivalry between you 2?
Yeah, I love seeing these guys in the playoffs. We're loose. We're excited for today. Regardless of the result, we get to play wiffle ball today. And we're excited, and, we're prepared as a team. And, yeah, everyone's kind of writing us out of this series, and no one believes in us, and that's fine. We're just going to come in as the underdogs. It's not a familiar situation that, we've been in the past, but look, what choice do we have? It's ride or die at this point. You either ride or you die, so might as well ride.
And like you mentioned, you are the underdog in this series. Do you think that puts more pressure on the Diamondbacks or you yourselves?
Absolutely on the Diamondbacks. I'm feeling no pressure today. Woke up, felt good. Ate well today. Watched a lot of wiffle ball, watched a lot of film, and just put myself in the right headspace. Love the prospect of getting to bat first. The Diamondbacks in the NLCS last year kind of took advantage of that, and they put up runs early on us, kind of rattle our cage a bit. So I'd like to return the favor and get the bats going pretty early. But I'd say there's a lot more pressure on them than us. We got nothing left to lose at this point. We're at the bottom of the division. Everyone's kind of counting us out of these playoffs, and why not us?
Awesome. Thank you, Brendan. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Game 1 of the NLDS between the two teams with the most historic rivalry. One of the most historic rivalries in sports, the Padres and the Diamondbacks. And we're off Game 1. Lynch sits down Frullo. First strikeout of the game for Lynch on batter number 1. Frullo goes down swinging. Captain Willett up second for the Padres. Frio just up high. Frio count. 4-pitch walk to Willett. Here comes Brown. Full count to Brown. 1 out, runner on first. Top of the first in game 1. Brown goes down looking. Michael Lynch, 2 strikeouts in the inning. Sits down. Frullo and Brown head to the bottom of the first. Now bottom of the first. Game 1. Nick Frullo on the mound for the Padres. Bryce Bedard in the box for the Diamondbacks. First pitch is hit. Bryce Bedard grounds first. Nick Frullo to Cam Brown with first out of the inning. We do have a member of the Expos here in attendance today, scouting for his upcoming opponent in the National League Championship Series. Don Metro's here to watch the game. 3-2. Falls up high. Joe walks. Now steps their captain, Michael Lynch, who had himself a day when he last saw the Padres at Mini Fenway. A couple of moonshot tape measure home runs. Ball is hit up high. It is gone. Michael Lynch continues a torrid stretch off Nick Frullo and crushes another home run out to a very similar spot we saw at Mini Fenway. Ball is hit up high. It is gone. Stay in, gone. Ball is hit up high. It is gone. Bryce pops it up over Cam's head for his single. Bryce chips that one over Brown's head for his single. Up high, ball 4. Joe walks on 5 pitches. Runners now on first and second with 1 out, with Michael Lynch up to bat. Hitters count. Outside. 5-pitch walk to Lynch, and the bases are now loaded for Bryce. There is 1 out in the inning, but the Diamondbacks already have scored 2 off a Michael Lynch home run in this inning. Bryce puts the ball in play, it's grounded to Nick, and Bryce is out at first. Diamondbacks get 2, now headed to the second inning. Diamondbacks got 2. Courtesy of a Michael Lynch 2-run home run. Frullo up to the bat. Lines up ball for a single. Nick sees the ball well and puts that ball in play. Brendan Millette up to bat with a runner on first. Nobody out.
Here we go. He's got to drop a dot.
Strike.
It's all right.
Michael gets Brendan looking to get a first out in the inning. Full count to Brown. 1 out. Strike 3. Lynch gets Brown looking. Another 2 big strikeouts from Lynch. Bottom of the second in game 2. Joe walks on 4 pitches. Michael up to the plate with a runner on first. Nobody out. He hits that ball off the fence. Joe takes third base on the hit. Runners on Michael with a laser off the fence. Joe takes first and third. Up steps Bryce. Diamondbacks creating havoc on the base pass. Runners on the corners. Outside. Bryce walks to load the bases up for Joe. Nobody out in the inning. Joe up with a special bat. Bases loaded. Nobody out. 3-1. And he misses. Nick walks in a run. And the Diamondbacks take a 3-0 lead in game 1. Lynch up now with the bases loaded. Still nobody out in the inning. Full count now to Lynch. Nobody out. Bases are still juiced. He hits that one. Over to Frullo. And every runner is safe. Lynch with a single. And every base runner moves up 1 spot. Bryce comes in to score. And the Diamondbacks take a 4-0 lead. There's still nobody out in the inning. And the bases are loaded for Bryce. Bryce puts that ball in play, and he misses Joe. The Diamondbacks get another run. It's now a 5-0 ball game. Bryce with the hit, and Joe scores. It's now 5-0 Diamondbacks. Joe up to the plate. Still nobody out in the inning. Joe hits that one. It is a grand slam, and that ends the inning. Joe with a massive grand slam for the Diamondbacks, and they get 6 in the bottom of the second. Is that game over? With that grand slam, game 1 ends in a mercy. 8-0 win for the Diamondbacks in game 1 of the NLDS. Joe hits that one. It is a grand slam. Joe hits that one. It is a grand slam. And that ends the inning. Joe hits that one. It is a grand slam.
Let's go, Craner.
Game 2 of the NLDS. Padres have now turned to their captain, Brendan Millette, with the hope of keeping this series alive and forcing a Game 3. Diamondbacks must feel very confident, fresh off an 8-0 mercy in Game 1. Now there's a 5-pitch walk to Bedard. Full count. Bryce on first. Joe goes down swinging. Padres get a very important first out. The captains are squaring off. Willett versus Lynch. He just misses the zone. Lynch walks. The Diamondbacks now have runners on first and second for Bryce. Joe on second, Michael on first. 1 out in the inning. Bryce walks on 4 pitches. The bases are now loaded for Joe. Joe swings. Brennan gets Joe swinging. The Padres escape a big first inning jam. Diamondbacks got none. Top of the first. Padres hoping for some magic here in game 2. Outside for a walk. Great at bat from Nick. Padres have a very important first base runner. Steps Brennan with a runner on first. Frullo on first. Nobody out in the inning. That ball's down. Brennan walks. Padres have now have runners on first and second. 2 consecutive walks. Ball's down. The Padres now have the bases loaded with nobody out after 3 consecutive walks. Frullo up now with the bases loaded. Nobody out in the inning. Padres with a real threat here in the bottom of the first. Ball's through Michael's legs. I think he gets Nick out at first. Cam stays at third. So 1 out in the inning. Great defensive display from Lynch. Let up now. Padres did get a run on that play. So they're taking a 1-0 lead. Strike 3. Lynch gets Brendan looking to end the inning, but the Padres do get a big first run. Top of the second now. Game 2, Padres got a big run first inning. So now Brendan Willett back on the mound for the Padres. Michael Lynch up to bat. Oh, right off the face for ball 4. Diamondbacks get a first base runner. Bryce up to bat. Bryce walks on 5 pitches. Joe's now up with runners on first and second with nobody out. Diamondbacks have some base runners here in the top of the second. Joe with a full count now. Michael on second and Bryce on first. Joe puts the ball in play, and Michael is safe or out. He is. Yeah, he's out. Michael is out. Joe with a single, but Michael is out. Padres get a very big first out. But Joe and Bryce are still on base. First and second. 1 out in the inning. 1-2. Brennan gets Michael looking. The Padres get out of the inning. Bottom of the second, game 2. A low-scoring affair so far. Diamondbacks get none. Top of the second. Ball's in play. Brown is out. Big first out of the inning from the Diamondbacks. Brown grounds out to Lynch. Frullo now up to the plate. Ball's popped up, and Michael makes the play. What a play from Michael Lynch. Might have been the best defensive play we have seen this season. Lynch with a diving catch to end the inning. Top of the third in game 2. Padres just need 2 more outs. Force a game 3. Diamondbacks need 1 to keep this game alive. Bedard leading off for the Diamondbacks. Very crucial inning. 3-0 to Bryce. Outside. Bryce walks on 4 pitches. Joe pops that ball up and makes the play. Diamondbacks are down to their final out in this game. And who better And Michael in. Captain versus captain. Just how the script writers had it. Game 2. Brendan hoping to keep this series alive with an out, but Michael is hoping to extend this game into a bottom of the third. Padres are 1 strike away from forcing a decisive Game 3. Michael goes down swinging. Brendan strikes out Lynch to end Game 2 to force a Game 3. Just as we expected, these two teams are in a decisive Game 3. Diamondbacks took Game 1, but the Padres responded with a... And Nick is safe at first to start Game 1. Padres took Game 2. And Nick starts Game 3 off with a single. Brendan walks on 4. Diamondbacks have their 2 leadoff base runners. Brown goes down looking. Michael with a big K on Brown. Now up to bat is Nick. 1-2 count. Was it low? Was it a strike? And Nick goes down looking. Michael with a big back-to-back strikeouts of Brown and Frullo to end the inning. Game 3, bottom of the first. Bryce to lead off for the Diamondbacks in Game 3. And he walks. Bryce walks free. Another walk. I feel like I've said it a lot today, but Bryce leads off the inning with a walk. Almost hit the bat. Joe walks on 4. Diamondbacks have back-to-back walks to start this inning. Strike. Lynch goes down looking. Brennan gets the big first out of the inning. Bryce is now up at the plate. Still runners on first and second. Pitch from Millette is up high. Bryce walks. Bases are now loaded for Joe. Joe puts the ball in play, and everyone is safe. Bryce comes in to score, and the Diamondbacks get 2 in the bottom of the first. What a chaotic sequence of events. Michael comes sliding in, and Bryce comes right in behind him. Joe with a double on the play. Now runners on second and third. 1 out from Michael. Brennan gets Michael swinging, but the Diamondbacks get 2 in the bottom of the first. Top of the second. Brendan up to bat. Ball is hit out. Brennan crushes the ball at deep right field for a home run. It's now a 2-1 ball game.
Fucking rattle.
Ball is hit out. Brennan crushes the ball at deep right field.
Let's go, Lynch! Give me something! Come on, 12!
Ball is hit out. Brennan crushes the ball out to deep right field for a home run. It's me, Num. Brennan crushes the ball Come on! Dawson's. Brown goes down swinging. Nick up to the plate.
There we go.
Nick singles. Brennan up to the box. Lasseback crushed the ball out to right center. Strike 3. Lynch gets Willett looking, but Brendan does take Michael deep, make it a 2-1 ball game. Now a 2-1 ball game. Bottom of the second inning in game 3. Price walks yet again. Price walks on 5 pitches. Strike 3. Joe goes down looking. It's now 1 out in the inning. Bryce is still on first for Lynch. 2-1 ball game in the bottom of the second inning in game 3. Strike 3. Lynch goes down looking. We are now headed to the 3rd inning. Or is now a crucial 3rd inning. Padres down to their final 2 strikes of the season. 2 outs of the season. Padres need 1 in this inning to keep the game alive. Brown hoping to get on to give Willett a chance to hit. Down, and Brown walks. Padres get a very important first base runner. Brown is now at first after the walk, and Frullo with 1 swing can take the lead. Nick puts the ball in play, and everyone is safe. Brown is safe at second, Frullo is safe at first. Brennan is now up with a runner in scoring position, with nobody out. 2-1 ball game. Strike 3. Brendan goes down swinging, and the Padres are down to the final out, possibly the final out of their season. Cam Brown, what a stage to be on. Arguably the biggest at bat of his career. Diamondbacks are 1 out away from advancing to the NLCS with a date with the Expos. Ball is in play, and every runner is safe. Brown keeps the game alive. The Padres now have a runner on 3rd, and a runner on 2nd, with a runner on 1st. Bases are juiced for Frullo. Great at bat from Cam Brown to continue this game. The bases are loaded for Frullo. There is 1 out in the inning. Strike 1, Frullo. Oh, 1 to Frullo. Strike 2. And the Padres are down to their final strike. Nick pops up for a foul ball.
I didn't even swing there too. I swung like this.
Sound like your hand.
Yeah, you like hit my
1-2. Nick puts the ball in play, and Brown is out at 3rd.
No.
No way. I stepped on his leg. He's up to safe.
Did you? Okay. I just saw you step. The game is now tied. Nick Frullo with an infield single to keep this game alive. The game is now tied 2-2. There is 1 out in the inning for Willett. Yeah. 1-0. Ball's hit for a grand slam. Brendan Willett with a grand slam in the top of the 3rd inning. And the Padres have now come back to take the lead. Padres now lead the game 6-2. 1-0. Ball's hit for a grand slam.
Let's go!
One out. Ball's hit. 4-8. Grand slam. Brendan Willett with a grand slam in the top of the 3rd inning.
I love me some me!
And the Padres
Come on!
have now come back
Come on.
to take the lead. Ball's hit. 4-8. Grand slam. Brendan Willett with a grand slam
Come
in
on!
the top of the 3rd inning.
I love me some me!
And the Padres
Come on!
have now come back.
Brown pops it up, and he's safe at first. He handcuffed Brown, but he beats out the throw for a single. Padres have had a great top of the 3rd here with consecutive hits. Frullo now up to the plate. Brown on first. Ball's popped up, and Michael makes the play to end the inning. But the Padres get 5. The Diamondbacks need 4 to keep this game and their series alive. It is now the bottom of the 3rd in Game 3. The Padres might have had their best inning of the season to keep their season alive, putting up 5 in the top of the 3rd. Diamondbacks need 4 to not only keep this game alive, but to keep their season alive. Bryce is the first batter for the Diamondbacks. Bryce hits that ball, and he's out. Bryce is out. And the Diamondbacks are now down to their final out of their season. Joe is the last hope for the Diamondbacks. He's hoping to continue this game, but Brendan and the Padres are hoping to clinch their date with the Expos in the NLCS. Outside, the Diamondbacks have a base runner in a captain versus captain matchup. Michael Lynch up to the plate. Joe on first, but there is 1 out. And the Diamondbacks are down to their final strike. Yeah. One, two count. Michael Lynch goes down swinging, and the Padres have advanced to the NLCS with a date with the Expos. What a series this was. Just as everyone expected, these two teams go down fighting to the very end. Great season from the Diamondbacks, but the Padres come out on top in this matchup. All right, I'm here with the Diamondbacks. Michael, I'll start with you. It was a very back and forth game. It was kind of what we all expected. What are your thoughts after the game?
I mean, it sucks. They showed up. Padres showed up like we expected them to. I don't really have any thoughts right now. It's kind of still early to really put my thoughts into words, but simply put, it sucks. I don't feel like that was a reflection of our year and what we had kind of in the tank. Padres, they battled it out, so I think they deserved that win. I think either of us could have taken that series. It was, like you said, it was down to that last swing. So right now it's kind of just still too early to tell, but definitely sucks.
Bryce, obviously not the season you wanted or expected. What are your thoughts going into the offseason?
I got a lot to think about. I got to discuss with the family, the friends, my other job. But going into the offseason, I'm just going to relax, take some time, stay in the gym, and just think about next year a little bit.
Awesome. And Joe, I'll talk to you. Obviously, good season for you guys. Not the ending you wanted, but what are you thinking about after the season on the positives?
On the positive, hey, we had a great pitching staff behind us. Fielding could have been a little better. Bats could have been a little better at some times. But hey, we're going to work on it in the off season, get in the gym, get some reps in, do all the good stuff that we're supposed to do. Eat our Wheaties.
Michael, I'm with you. Are there any different things going into the offseason? I know it's fresh for you right now, but going into the offseason, there aren't going to be any changes made or any new additions?
I don't know, it's time to reflect. I do like the group we have. I love them. I wouldn't want to play with anyone else, but when it just comes to wiffle ball in general, I think there's a lot to think about. I'm excited to see how the rest of the season unfolds, and then I'll kind of start thinking about that stuff. But still a lot of ball left for the boys to play. Unfortunately, not us. But looking forward, we'll see what happens. For myself, for the boys, for the D-backs, who knows?
Awesome. Congratulations, D-backs, on your season.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'm here with the NLDS winning Padres. Brown, I'll start with you. Not the pitching change we expected. What was your mindset in changing pitchers mid-game?
To be honest with you, I don't know. We weren't planning on it. I've been working on that rising pitch all year in my backyard. Didn't think I'd have to throw it, but I was just, in my free time just kind of messing around with it. And, we were fully expecting to ride Ferrulo today. Sure. But, when your ace comes to you and gives you the head shake and says he doesn't have it, you got to make an adjustment. So, alarm bells were kind of going off when Ferrulo walked up to me after game one and was like, I don't think I can go back out there. So, I tapped into that pitch. I thought it was our best option to maybe have a chance in game two. And we could have easily gone to Brownie too, who can locate his pitch as well. But I was throwing in warm-ups today, just kind of messing around, and I was starting to find the arm slot a little bit. So I felt like that would have given us the best chance to maybe hang around in game two. We had home field, so we had last up. So I felt like there was a bit of a security blanket there, but. Yeah, definitely was not something that we planned on doing heading into the series.
Cam, you had a big clutch hit right at the end. Big clutch hit right at the end to keep the game alive. What was your mindset going into that at bat?
Really just trying to, keep my head on straight, make contact, and keep us alive. That's about it.
Awesome. And Nick, like Brendan said, you made a team-first approach to that game. How do you feel now that you've come out on top about that?
Yeah, I feel good. I was always confident in Brendan. I know that, and Brownie too. I know that both of them can throw the ball, and I think that, sometimes on the days that you don't have it, you just have to trust your teammates, and that's what I did today, and I'm glad that it worked out in the end. So.
And Brendan, I'll end with you. You're back in the NLCS. Obviously a very different opponent, a new team. They were here scouting today. Do you think that's going to help them, or do you think you're going to be ready for that challenge?
No, I think we're ready. I think we proved today that we can win in any sort of situation. We'll talk about the NLCS tomorrow, but I'm just kind of focused on today. I just want to say, those guys are hell of a competitors, the Diamondbacks. And, I went up to Lynch after the series, and I just told him, I love him. He's one of my best friends. I'm going to get emotional talking about it. But, he's been such an integral part of this league for 4 years, and, he balled out in that game, literally. He made it so difficult for us. After game one, we thought it was over, and I was ready to go home. We were packing it in, and we were just going to go out there and try and give it our best. And he didn't let up for a second. And I love that he buys into the same shit that I buy into. We're jawing back and forth. We're having a good game, and I just love that he's comfortable doing that with me. Because if every series were like this series, I'll fucking take it all day. This is what the league's about, if he decides to come back and play next year, that's his year. I thought this year was his year, he's knocking on the doorstep. A great fucking player, an even better person, and he made today so much fun by just being one fucking great competitor. So props to you, man. I fucking love you, and I love your team. Yeah, we'll talk about the NLCS tomorrow, but I don't want to take away from what just happened. Definitely don't want to overlook the game that the Diamondbacks just gave us. So when the time comes to the NLCS, we'll be ready for it. Right now, we're just gonna soak in the moment. That was probably the best series that we've seen in league history, undoubtedly. Just so many great moments, so many great plays, great win, great competition, and happy to be alive still.
Awesome, congratulations, Padres.